Angie and I'm going to be walking you through a yoga flow today. We will be going through different yoga asanas, different postures, specifically related to releasing tension in our bellies and in our lower body. So focusing on this region, into the lower back and the hamstrings and the hip flexors as well. This is the part of the body that gets particularly tight, especially if we've been sitting down all day or if you've been doing any intense physical exercise without stretching out properly. It often feels pretty tight. We also store a lot of our emotional tension in this part of the body, so we're going to focus on loosening it up. So when you're ready, join me. You're going to come down to your mat, just face the front and bring the knees the same distance as the mat. Really sit the hips all the way back so the glutes are glued to your feet, and then hands on the hip. On the inhale, reach the spine up nice and tall, and on the exhale, start to hinge forward at the hips and come as far down as you can. And then place your hands down wherever feels best. You can stay on your forearms, you can press the palms into the ground, or maybe you can extend the arms all the way to the front of the mat, relaxing the head and the neck, dropping it down and releasing the shoulders away from the ears. Taking a deep breath in here. And exhale through the mouth, gently sigh out the breath. One more big breath in, filling up the belly, deep diaphragmatic breathing. And exhaling to let go, release any tightness, any tension, let it all out. And then stay here. Bring the awareness fully to the breath. Your third eye chakra, the point between the two eyebrows, is rested on the ground, which brings an immediate sense of calmness and zen when we get this point to the ground, acupressure point. And just let everything soften down and focus on taking breaths really into the lower rib cage and into the depths of the belly so that you fill up, get as much oxygen in, and that's also going to release any tension that you have in this part of the body. When you're ready, press into the hands, lift the forehead up, look ahead of you. And as you exhale, slowly start to walk the hands all the way back. Press into the palms, just make sure that they're side by side, fingertips are pointing towards the front. Shoulders might have raised up, so we want to relax them down, and then press into the palms, lift the hips up. Bring the knees to be underneath your hips and come into your tabletop position. So from here, you're just going to start to circle the hips. This is really, really good for any tightness in our hip flexors. And drop the head and the neck down, pressing into the palms, and then start to change the direction of the circles. Listening out for any clicks and pops that you hear. Come back into your neutral position. Take an inhale, extend your right arm all the way up towards the ceiling, really stretch it up, active through the fingers, and on the exhale start to swoop this right hand all the way down, bring it through that loop, the whole right side of the body comes down to the ground and rest here. You should feel that nice stretch, so it's quite restorative, but it's also quite intense on that shoulder if you've got tight shoulders. Glutes are sticking up in the air, you can stay here. If you want to take another option, you can extend the left arm to the top of the mat. If you want to take it into the underside of the left arm, you can come onto the tips of the fingers. So that's another option. But make sure that you're listening to your body, be honest with where you're at in your practice. Deep breath in and exhale through the nose. Maybe close the eyes down to get into this posture a little bit deeper. Go a little bit more inward. When you're ready, if you have that hand extended, slowly start to bring it back next to your face. Pressing into the left hand, we're coming back up. So really slowly take your time, bring the right hand all the way back up towards the ceiling, really stretch it up. And on the exhale, we're going to place that right hand down. Start to bring the weight forwards and backwards. So coming into the wrists and then all the way back into your child's pose almost. Come to the front. And back, and then come back to your tabletop position. From here, we are going to press the toes into the ground, press into the palms, and start to lift the knees up and back into your first downward facing dog. Make sure that we're really pressing into the palms. Take a bend in each of your knees if you need to. You're going to gaze to the tops of your legs, maybe to your lower belly, to the navel, and then try and come to stillness. Pressing into the palms, take an inhale, and exhale to soften here. Slowly, we're going to start to walk the hands back to meet the feet, one by one. And then when you get there, we're going to grab hold of each of your elbows, take as much of a bend in the knees as you need to, and then just sway from left to right. Really relax the head, drop it all the way down. Let your body relax. Feel a nice stretch through the backs of the legs. Breathe into the depths of your belly. Start to slow those swaying movements down until you're completely at a standstill. And when you get there, we're going to relax the hands all the way down. Take as much of a bend in the knees as you need to until you get your first two fingers underneath your big toe and the thumb on top. Inhale, lift the head, look up. And on your exhalation, elbows out to the side, again dropping the head and the neck down. Your drishti, your gazing point, is towards the tops of the legs or to the navel. You should feel this stretch coming into the backs of the legs, into the back of the body, creating a little bit more space and seeing if you can use that grip to get yourself a bit further down towards the ground. Take an inhale here. Exhale, see if you can lower even further. Another inhale. We're going to come back halfway up, and on your exhale, start to walk the hands all the way back. A downward facing dog. Deep breath in here. And on the exhale, come to the tips of the toes, start to bend the knees and come all the way back down into your tabletop position. Inhale, we sweep the left arm up this time. Really stretch it up, active through the fingers, and on the exhale, we sweep it all the way under. Come and lie the left side of the body down, glutes are in the air, feel that nice stretch into the left side, really into this part, this left shoulder blade and into the back. Again, you can keep your hand there, the right hand where it is, or if you'd like to extend it to the front, maybe come to the tips of your fingers. Deep breath in, and exhale. Slow down your breath, bring your attention to really focusing on where your breath is. On the inhale, imagine a wave coming in towards the shore. And on the exhale, watch the wave going back. If you have your arm extended, bring that right hand by your face, take an inhale, slowly pressing into the right hand. Lift yourself all the way back up, left hand rises, and on the exhale, dropping it back down. Child's pose again, Balasana, this time with the knees together, feet together, again sitting back, and then hands on the hips will help to really hinge forward, create space. This time the hands are going to come either side of the body, palms turning up towards the ceiling, but same, the head and the neck, relax. Slow down your breath. Let everything sink into the earth underneath you, just let it all go. And I want you to think of one thing that you feel grateful for. So pick that one thing and really express gratitude towards it. Repeat it in your head 3 times. When we practice gratitude, we're practicing santosha, which means contentment. It's one of the elements of yoga. Practicing what you already have in your life and feeling a sense of contentment and happiness for that. Take an inhale, slowly we start to lift the forehead up, lift the body all the way up, and then place the hands either side of the body. You're just going to swivel over, bring the knees in front of you. I'm going to face you, but you guys can stay where you are. And then you're just going to bring the knees out to the side. So we're going to come into our Bharata Konasana pose. This is really good. If you have any cramping, any bloating, any digestive issues, this is perfect. So we can bring the feet a little bit further away, so we're creating a bit more of a gap. This is a bit more of a restorative version. But if you want to really come into the inner thighs, you just bring the feet a little bit closer. So it's a very similar pose, just a slight variation. Pick what feels best for you. And then when you get there, we're going to work on bringing the elbows into the creases of the knees, hands to come to the feet, thumb on the inside of the soles, fingertips on the outside. When we take a breath, we're going to lift up, create more length through the spine. And on the exhale, we work on sinking the body down. I'm using my hands to really open the feet, and I'm using my arms to bring the knees down, making sure that in yoga we really work on, in the asana practice, stretching rather than straining. So we want to make sure we don't feel any pain. And go with how this posture feels in your body. Relax your shoulders down, rather than how it looks. So we turn the body and the mind inward, connecting with yourself. Take an inhale here. On the exhale, see if you can sink a little bit deeper, just intensifying that stretch only if you want to, only if it feels good for you. And then when you're ready, next inhale, slowly start to lift yourself all the way back up. And when you're ready, use your hands if you want to bring the knees together. We're going to swivel all the way around, and we're going to make our way down to lying flat on our backs. Bring the legs the same distance to the mat, if not a bit wider, and slowly lower yourself all the way down. And when you get there, coming into your Shavasana, bring both hands either side of the body, feet, again, completely relaxed. Close down the eyes. If there are any last wriggles and shakes that you need to take, go for it. Otherwise, coming to a place of stillness. Let the breath slow down. Let your mind slow down. Allowing the body to completely relax. Feeling softness through the soles of the feet. Opening through the palms of the hands. Maybe tingling sensations in the fingers and the toes. Just be aware of what your body is doing. So yoga is a practice of union. It's about joining and uniting your mind and body and soul. So hopefully you'll notice your mind feels a little bit less busy. And if it is feeling still busy, that's okay. Just being aware of it, being kind to yourself. Practicing ahimsa, which is one of the yamas. Ahimsa means non-violence or non-harm. So compassion, practicing a sense of compassion towards ourselves and to others around us. Just let everything return to baseline, your breath. Allow your nervous system to calm down, let your heart rate return to normal. Stay here for as long as you need to. Don't feel any pressure to get up quickly or return to the rest of your day. Staying here. If you are ready to come out of your Shavasana, just start to wriggle your fingers and your toes, keeping the eyes closed. Take a deep breath in through the nose and a big sigh out through the mouth. Let everything go. Bring the feet together at the bottom of the mat. Stretch the arms up above your head. Take a big stretch all the way from the tips of the fingers down to the tips of the toes. And then start to bring the knees one by one in towards the chest. Give yourself a big hug. Really squeeze yourself in. And then bring the hands around both of your knees and just start taking some big circles with each of your legs. Getting into the last tight parts of the hip flexors. And then move those circles in the opposite direction. And then bring those knees together. Rolling over to the left side of your mat, just like how you go to bed. You're turning over to the left side, making a little pillow with that left hand. Just resetting here. And when you're ready, no rush, find your way up to seated, but keep the eyes closed. So try to just use everything else but not the sense of sight. So practicing another element of yoga called pratyahara. Pratyahara just means sense withdrawn. So withdrawing the sense of sight. When you get up to a seated position, cross-legged, or you can come to your Padmasana, your lotus pose if that's in your practice. Maybe kneeling. Bring the hands into prayer position at the center of the chest. Thumb, fingers, palms press into one another. Shoulders are down. Practicing santosha again by thinking about that one thing you feel grateful for. Same one that you picked earlier, and just repeat it in your head. Place the left hand on top of the heart. Right hand on top of the lower belly. Yoga means union. So really connect and unite with yourself. Not just feeling the hands on your body, but really feel them caressing your heart and your lower belly, supporting them. When you're ready, take another inhale. Exhale, release. Bring the hands back into prayer position and start to bow the chin down towards the chest, feeling a nice stretch through the back of the neck. And just be aware of how you feel. See if there are any differences in your mind and take any positive sensations into the rest of your day. Try to pass it on to at least one other person. And be grateful towards yourself for making the time to practice yoga today. Thank you so much for joining me in this practice. When you're ready, you can slowly blink the eyes open and raise the head up. Thank you guys. I hope you enjoyed that short flow but effective, and I hope that shows you that you don't need a full hour session. Just a 10-15 minute practice like that can really release that stagnant energy, that tightness, that sensation of gripping. We can really let it go just by doing gentle movements, deeper breathing, and more of a focus on going inward, connecting inside, rather than being so obsessed with what's happening on the outside world. So I hope you enjoyed that. I have more videos like this on my YouTube and my website. You can find more about me and the yoga that I teach. But thank you so much for joining, and I'll see you again soon.